Okay. I was gonna testing 1, 2, 3.
You're good.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool the way they do that now.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're now live on Facebook as well. 12:59, and usually we just let people trickle in for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Won't start till like 1:05 or so. That's fine.
Cool. Yes. All right. Yeah, but for those of you who are here, thanks for joining us. Yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes. Just give people a chance to trickle in. We have some more people coming in, and hey to everybody that just joined us. Just wanted to let you know that we're waiting just a minute or so more for more attendees to trickle in. So just hold tight for one more minute. Thanks. Hey, Brian,
Yes.
I'm getting like some feedback.
Yeah, you know what? It's not feedback. I got my landscapers just came. Hold on.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got
I'm gonna get my Bose headset. One second.
it. Okay. All right. And yeah, thanks everyone again for joining. After he gets that headset, we will go ahead and get started. Thanks.
All right, let's see how that goes.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And it is 1:06. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Ready to go. Yep. Okay. Well, welcome everyone, and hope everyone's having a great day. My name is Brian Friedlander, and I'll be, walking you through this webinar today. Just a little bit about me: I'm a licensed and certified school psychologist, as well as a associate professor of education at St. Elizabeth University in Morristown, New Jersey, where I oversee graduate programs in special education and teach graduate courses and undergraduate courses in special ed and technology. So today I wanted to focus on some of the tools that I'm using, and I want to thank Revive for sponsoring me today for this seminar that's going to talk about some of the tech tools both for classroom, but also for virtual learning. And what I like to say, what's in your toolbox? As much as I really love the tools, a lot of times it's really the tools, the strategies, and the implementation that can make a significant impact on learning in the classroom. So when we take a look at who can benefit from these various technologies, certainly students with learning disabilities or students that have memory issues. Certainly when I started in the field over 30 years ago, students with physical disabilities who had difficulty with access, students, of course, with sensory. And, as we are advancing this technology, we see a lot of students who can benefit from this technology who have executive functioning disorders. I work with a lot of students that both have learning disabilities as well as attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, and they have difficulty with planning and organizing. And so this technology can play an important role, and certainly individuals with communication disorders. So some of the goals that I see when I work with students is how can this technology help reduce frustration? I mean, a lot of students I work with, they spend either the whole day in school or on Zoom, and then they have assignments where they need to read, write, do math, and it can be very frustrating for them. So I'm looking at how these technologies can help reduce that frustration. Of course, also looking at how these tools can use to increase productivity, and not only productivity in the sense of finishing products, but also how do they increase independence. This is especially true if you're working with students in middle school or high school or even at the college level who really want to see how they can begin to perform more independently. And if you work with middle school students, you know how challenging that can be. So we hope that some of these tools increase their independence and less reliance on the adults in their environment. So what's in your toolbox? What I'm going to like to talk to you today about is some of these six different, I call my six-pronged approach to my assistive technology toolkit. So when I work with students, these are the tools that I look to help them. Word prediction. This can be invaluable for students that have tremendous difficulty in the area of spelling. text-to-speech, which is using tools to be able to read text on the screen. If you have a student with a reading disability or a slow processor, and they're doing a lot of work on the web, these tools are invaluable, and oftentimes built right into the operating system of the computer. A lot has changed over the last 30 years, and one of the biggest advancements that I've seen in the time I've been working with computers is in the area of speech recognition or voice typing. Now, out of the box, you can do speech recognition on a Mac, Windows, or a Chromebook for that matter, and it's very efficient, and it's, for the most part, fairly accurate. In the area of planning, brainstorming, organizing ideas, graphic organizers or mind maps are tremendous tools. Many of them have the advantage of allowing students to get their ideas down in a very visual way or graphical way, and then the ability to then turn that into an outline that can be moved into a word processor. And certainly for students who have difficulty in the area of reading, having access to digital audiobooks in the form of learning allies. Some parents might use Audible, but those are important. And certainly looking at tools in the area of executive functioning. So these might be working with students and teaching them how to, how to record tasks, create to-do lists using like a Google Calendar or using an app like Google Keep. So in the area of reading, certainly text-to-speech is important, audiobooks, and reading apps like Voice Dream. So this is one of my go-to tools in the area of both reading and writing, and it's Read and Write for Google Chrome. It's a subscription service. It's integrated with the Google Suite and Google Classroom. So if your child or student is in a school that's using the Google Docs and Google Classroom, this is a tremendous tool. You can download it for free and try it for about 30 days. After that, you would need a subscription. It runs somewhere a little bit about $120 a year. I'm just going to get out of this for a second. And I'm going to go to a Google Doc. And if I click on the little Read and Write toolbar, it should come up. And there's the, excuse me, there's the toolbar. And let's make this bigger so everyone can see. So the first tool I want to show you in this, and this is built actually not necessarily in this toolbar, but is the voice typing. And you get this little dialog box that comes up. You click on the microphone. Today I'm doing a webinar for Revive. Let me just see if I can. Today I'm doing a webinar for Revive. May not want to be putting in the input. Microphone, same as system.
Oh, Brian, am I supposed to be able to hear you?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we're all good.
All right, it could be something's going on, but you just click on that and then you would be able to, see the text. Let's see if Microsoft Word, let's see if I can get this. I'm not sure. Sometimes with Zoom, there's too many interactions and too many levels, but let's do this. So here's the dictation here. This is voice recognition. No, evidently it's not getting the control of the microphone, but it's built, dictation is built right into the Microsoft Word. Let's try this.
Yeah, we actually had someone chat in to say just it might be a problem because we switched to headphones and are using Zoom.
Yeah, I know. Let me, there's a setting. Let me try this. Let me try a new share here. This might be it. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, let's try that. Testing 1, 2, 3. No, it might be a setting, but let's try that. Testing 1, 2, 3. Strange.
Probably
No.
just Zoom interference.
Yeah. Let's see if the text to speech will play in that.
But good thing it's so simple that it's just a click of a button.
Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not. This is a test. Let's see if they'll read it.
This is a test.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the text to speech. But if students are, especially students are doing more research on the web, I'm just going to say they were doing stuff they needed to do research on the NASA space program, and they were they looked up about John Glenn. And for students that have reading challenges, this is still the read and write toolbar, and it should pop up in a second. As students are using more resources on the web, these tools become more important. Here we go. So this is the read and write toolbar for the web, and if I click on hover speech, all I need to do is put my mouse.
John Herschel Glenn Jr. July 18th, 1921, December 8th, 2016, was a United States Marine Corps aviator.
So this tool lets students access text to speech, and you can customize. I'm not going to go into it, but you can customize it. You can have it read faster, slower, and there's some other formatting that you can do with it as well. So this is a great tool. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to turn on another tool that I use called Snap and Read. And you'll see now that I have the Snap and Read panel here. So to read the text, I click on this, and then I can, let's see, click.
John Herschel Glenn Jr., July 18th, 1921 to December 8th, 2016, was a United States Marine Corps aviator, engineer, astronaut, businessman, and politician. He was the first American to orbit the Earth.
So this is Snap and Read. This does something really interesting. I'm going to try to do this now. One of the features that a lot of teachers like is this feature here, which is it simplifies the vocabulary. So this may not be so you see the word panoramic is italicized. So when I multiple clicks will do, there's the word. When I click again, it puts the synonym, and then when I do it again, it allows me to have that in a different language. So if you have a student that's Portuguese or Spanish, they can see the third click puts it into their native tongue. So it's really really interesting. And up here, it may be, it's kind of small, but this is written in about the 6th grade reading level. So that's Snap and Read, which is really an interesting app and provides text-to-speech supports. That was Snap and Read. So Snap and Read has text-to-speech, text simplification. It can remove distraction. There's also some note taking, and again, it's integrated with Google Classroom. So if you're again a district using Google Classroom, that can be really important. In the area of reading, this is actually a free service, and it's Bookshare. And the only criteria is that your student or child would need to meet the legal definition of a print disability, which is anyone who's got a significant reading disability or dyslexia, someone who's visually impaired or blind, or someone that has a significant motor disability that would make it difficult for them to hold a book or turn a page. Access to this is available on computers and the iPad. If you're using an iPad, one of the best apps for accessing Bookshare would be Voice Dream. It's about $10. It's a one-time fee. It uses synthesized text-to-speech, but you can actually go in and purchase really high-quality speech engines that make the reading experience that much better. If I go to Bookshare, the nice thing about Bookshare is that you can actually access it right in the web. So the interface and the application is right here. And the quality of the synthesized speech is not great. I'll just play a little bit and then you can.
399. Le'ayin. Though the Highlander puts into no harbor as yet, she here and there leaves many of her passengers behind.
I had that set to a fast reading rate, but you can, that is the experience, and that's sort of the quality of the text-to-speech engine. If you have an iPad, the experience changes greatly because it has high quality synthesized speech. So Bookshare is totally free. The only thing is you would need someone on your child study team or your pediatrician or a learning consultant or to certify that you have a print disability. It's a one-page form that's signed. They don't ask for any additional documentation. Let's jump here. Learning Ally, which happens to be located in my state in Princeton, New Jersey. Again, students have to qualify for a print disability to access this, and then they can listen to the books on computers, iPad, Chromebooks, with the Learning Ally Link app. And this is human narration. So let me just do. So this is, let's try that again. Sorry about that. Where is it? I have to skip this. I thought I had the software located. Let me just see. No, I'm not going to do that now. But the books are human narration. If we have time at the end, I will get this going for you. Uh, so this service is not free. Usually it's by subscription. Schools can subscribe the students, or parents can also pay a yearly fee. Some other alternatives would be Audible, which offer high quality professional narration, but this could be expensive. The other alternative is taking out audiobooks from your public or municipal library. You could use the Overdrive application, and then with your library ID, you can download books to various devices and listen to them on those devices. Some other tools that are really interesting that have come a long way, and one that I use and recommend with the students I work with, is the C-Pen reader. It's basically a personal scanner. It's very small, and this could be great for students that need support on quizzes and tests. It's lightweight. And the scanning has gotten incredibly good, and it's very accurate. And it's synthesized speech, but it's high quality. And you can also plug in earbuds so that this can be a private and personal experience. So if you're looking, to read, short bursts of text, this can be a great device, to access. In addition to reading text, it also has a dictionary, so students can look up difficult words. And I have a lot of high school and college students using this to create notes out of textbooks by plugging in the USB cable into a Chromebook, Mac, or PC. You can actually scan the text and bring it into a word processor and then create your own notes by scanning them, which is great. So we move into note-taking, and this is an area where students, especially whether in the classroom, but now if they're on Zoom, they need to be able to take notes. Luckily, some of these sessions are recorded, but there's certainly note-taking apps. One of the things that I rely on are applications that also have audio supports, and we'll look at some of those in a little bit, and also digital pens that can be used for taking notes and recording audio. So why is audio important? I mean, it's important for students because it provides a safety net for them, so they don't have to feel compelled that they have to write every single thing down. It also, with audio, it allows them to review their notes, and they may not have to listen to the entire lecture over. The nice thing about using audio with some of the even digital pens is that students can use words or images and don't necessarily always have to be concerned about writing text. And then when it's time to review their notes, it allows them to, in a sense, go to the bookmarks and listen to those pieces of the lecture that maybe they didn't understand. So there's no need to listen to the whole lecture. These are a couple of smart pens. There are some others in the, let me see some question. Oop, come on. So these are new. This is the Neo Dymo, and it's about a $60 pen. It doesn't store as much information as some of the others, but it could be a good alternative, and I'll show you a little bit later why. And then you have the LiveScribe Symphony, which is a high-end pen from the LiveScribe company, and these can all record audio with handwriting. I'm going to play this demo video of me using the LiveScribe video pen so you can get an idea of how this can be utilized. Let me go into the present. Oh. What I'd like to do is show you how we can use the LiveScribe pen for note-taking in the classroom. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it on, and you see it's starting up. to take notes, I'm just going to tap on the record button, and I'm going to make believe I'm sitting in my science class and my teacher's asking me to bring in some materials for a science experiment that we're going to be doing. So first thing I do is I click record, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write science experiment list. So the first thing I heard was need to bring in some salt, and then my teacher asked me to bring in mineral water, and also bring in a plastic container. And the last thing was to bring in some straws, and these were straws that were bendable. Once I'm finished taking the notes, I'm going to hit stop. Now when I go home, if I want to listen to my notes again, I could just tap on each one of these, and then you would hear the audio note. The thing I heard was need to bring in some salt, and then my teacher asked me to bring in mineral water, and also bring in a plastic container. And the last thing was to bring in some straws, and these were straws that were bendable. Once I'm finished taking the notes, I'm going to hit. So you can see that the student can always go back and refer back to the audio note that was recorded. In a couple of seconds, this information is going to be synced to my Evernote account, where I can also view it and listen to it on the web. So that was the LiveScribe Echo pen that has the microphone as well as speaker built in, so it's a really handy device. This is a new device that just came out. It's the Smart Recorder, Rico. It's from a company called Neo Smart Pen, and I'm just going to go out of this for a second. Okay. And so this is the Rico recorder. It's really small and lightweight. It can record up to 10 hours, so a student can go into the classroom, turn this on, and so I'll try this with you. Just going to turn this on, and you can see the red light. And then I have my Dymo pen. I'm going to turn that on, and the pen just paired with the recorder, as you can see. So the student put this on the desk, and now just imagine that they were, let's say, taking notes, and this is from a PowerPoint presentation. So what they can do, what I did is I basically glued the thumbnails of my PowerPoint, and then the teacher starts talking about this slide right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the record button. You'll see the light will come on, and now what I can do is I can take my notes about digital pens and the Rico recording device. And this can store up to 10 hours of audio, which is great. And it lets you bookmark your audio notes. And say I'm finished. So now when I come home at the end of the day, if I want to review, all I do is take my pen and I tap on that area to 10 hours of audio. So it lets me jump around.
To bookmark.
So, so this can be really handy, especially now, even more so.
Recording device.
This can be even more important now that students are learning virtually and they're learning off of YouTube videos or even Zoom. So it's a kind of a really interesting device that just recently came out that I've been experimenting with. So moving along, Microsoft has been doing a lot of work in the area of accessibility. They just added, if you're using Office 365 or Word Online, you could drop audio into Microsoft Word and it will transcribe it. So you could literally have students using a digital tape recorder, recording the lectures maybe on Zoom, and then dropping it into and watch it transcribe. So let's take a look at that. So this is Word Online. I'm just going to open up a document. Currently, the desktop version of Word does not have this feature in it, but there are plans to do that. Just wait for Word to load. Maybe I'll just open a new one. Now we'll open this. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of the text here. And you'll see this is Word Online. I'm just going to move that up. And if I pull down my microphone, you can see I have transcribe. I click on transcribe. They're currently allowing 300 minutes a month for this service. And you'll see in a second, I can upload audio. So if I click on upload audio, this will open up, and on my desktop, I have an audio file that I created. But again, if you have a digital recorder, or students can use their iPhones to create the audio file. You can see it's transcribing. And this can also be used if students need to do interviews and may have difficulty with processing. They can go back and forth. And in a second or two. So there's the, that was an audio file if I want to hit play. This is really exciting, the ability to transcribe audio right within Microsoft. And then if I want to add the text, I click add all, and then it moves it moves all this text that was transcribed to my Microsoft Word document, and then this is totally editable, which is really exciting. So students can use their phone and create audio files and then transcribe it, and then use it to create notes. So one of the leading companies for using audio for notes is Sonocent. They're located in the UK. They recently created Glean, which is a very lightweight browser-based application. It's available also as an app for iPhones and Android, and it allows you to store notes, in the cloud. I'm not going to have a chance to do a demo today, but just want to show you what the interface looks like. I'm just going to go into present so it looks a little bigger. So this is ideal when students get PowerPoints or slides or PDFs ahead of time. And this is what the interface looks like. So on the left-hand side, this is a PDF that, let's say, the lecturer is talking about. On the right-hand side, these Shapes are basically their audio that was recorded when I click the audio button. So it basically chunks the audio, and this is a pause in between, while the teacher is talking about this particular, let's say, page or PDF. The student can tag the information with important, review, or task, or type their own text into it. So what happens is the audio and the notes get linked to each page or each slide in the presentation, and again allows them to go back and review that part of the lecture that they didn't understand. So what's nice about this application is this is web-based, very lightweight, and students can access it from just about any device as long as they're connected to the internet. So with writing, as I had mentioned before, you have word prediction, voice typing, and mind mapping. Again, in Microsoft Word, you click the dictate button and you're off and running. There's no additional software is needed as long as you have Office 365. You can do that. If you're in Google Docs, you would just go down to Tools, Voice Typing, and you should have a very pleasant experience. It's very efficient. I've even worked with students who, let me just see in the chat. Yes, so it does Dragon, naturally speaking, does integrate with the senescent audio note taker. So one of the tools I've been using for many years is mind mapping, or sometimes known as graphic organizers. It allows students to create mind maps, but more importantly, allows them to move their ideas around the page. And when they're done, they can export them to Google Docs or Microsoft Word as an outline. Some of these tools also have templates for helping students move through the writing process more easily. And some even have bibliographic tools that let them output MLA or APA formatted bibliographies as well. So if you're looking for a tool that helps students organize, brainstorm, you should definitely take a look. MindMeister is one that I use. There are certainly others that are available. So if you're looking for some really excellent apps for accessing text, Microsoft Seeing AI, which is available for the iPhone, it has built-in optical character recognition. So you can actually take your phone, point it at a menu, point it at a book, and it will start reading either short text or documents as well. And it reads the text aloud. It's pretty amazing tool. This was a couple of years ago, there were apps selling for $100 that do the same thing, what this does for free. So if you're looking for something that you want to be able to read text, this is definitely a great alternative. And again, depending on handwriting, it can also read handwriting as well and read it aloud. So keeping organized, especially today with students being home, keeping a digital calendar can be really important. For those of you that have students using Google Classroom, it also integrates the assignments right into the Google Calendar so students can quickly review what's due and what's available. You can also use tasks as well and keep lists. There's lots of really great list applications. One of the tools that, especially for those students that are in the Google ecosphere, is using Google Keep. It's a great tool for setting reminders as well as for doing research and capturing web pages that integrates also with Google Docs. So definitely take a look at that. And certainly executive functioning is playing a more important role, especially as students are required to be more independent at home. And some of the tools like Revive are non-pharmacological, and certainly, parents and educators are always looking for interventions that could be helpful that don't require medication. You want easy to use, and you want there to be good training and tracking. If you're not familiar with Revive Connect, you should reach out to Revive, find out about all the excitement that's happening in this space to help students pay attention and track with text reminders. So students are wearing what looks like a basically a smart watch, and it can be set to vibrate and give students needed feedback when they require it. And this will hopefully help your students stay on task and be more focused as they do work more independently. So it's important when you're planning to use some of these technologies is to kind of think about what you want to accomplish, how, when you're talking about a student or your own child, how they like to learn, what are their strengths, weaknesses, and preferences, and also what's helped them learn in the past when you think about some of those analog tools that you might use. Are these your kids who did well with flashcards or sticky notes, or do they like to listen to information? So some of that information will be crucial in helping to plan which technology you can use effectively. So your next steps, if you work with, if your child has an IEP or a 504, you may want to request a meeting with the child study team, or even request an assistive technology evaluation, which is part of federal special ed code. And a lot of schools internally have experts in the field of assistive tech. If not, they can bring one in from the outside. And certainly, before you invest heavily in this technology, see if you can trial some of both the hardware and or software ahead of time by collecting data and implementing effective strategies. So I hope you enjoyed this short presentation. I can spend hours delving into some of these tools and gadgets. Here's some resources that I've written with my publisher, National Professional Resources. So if you do a search for me on Amazon, you'll find some of these guides that are helpful for both parents and educators. There's my contact information. We do have couple of minutes left, so if you have any questions. So I see Archie says, how do we try these technologies? Are they available for free or have a trial? Many of the companies do offer trial periods that from 15 days to a month, more so with the applications. With hardware, it's a little bit more challenging to do, but certainly with the software, you can reach out to the companies. So let me just escape out of this. So if you were to, if you would go to snapandread.com, for example, I believe they have, in this case, it knows I'm signed up, but they have, I think, 15-day free trials. So a lot of the apps, you'll have 15 to 30-day trials before you have to make a commitment to them. Any other questions? Any other questions coming in?
We have a bunch of parents saying just thank you so much for this presentation. And yeah, you did a good job of answering questions as we went along. So thanks for that.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have any more questions.
Oh. I see one. Oh, just thank you. Okay. Yeah. I also, my slide deck, is available if you would like to have access to it. And also, Revive will send out emails with the recording of this webinar if you want to review it. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm glad to answer them as well.
All right. Well, thanks everyone, and thank you again, Brian. Guess we'll
You're
sign
welcome.
off and see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.